Today I'm playing some updated Boros Stoneblade, but taking it in a direction very akin to the Rakdos lists that you're seeing be super popular in Modern. Playing the full 8 Incarnations Fury Solitude and the full 4 Ephemerate as well. This is a deck we played a lot of in the past. It kind of carried us at the end of the trophy race. It's an archetype that I have liked a lot in the past, but it's a deck that I think I kind of fell out of love with when the card Blood Moon started to become like pretty poorly positioned in the main deck. Seraph, I think with the 18 months. However, with the printing of Leyline Binding, Blood Moon is actually a card that you really want to be main decking right now. It's really good against creativity. There's a lot of like good utility. It's just, you know, pretty good card in the Modern format. Additionally, beyond just Ephemerate being able to target your incarnations, you can target your Ranger Captain, get 2 1-drops, but Ephemerate actually interacts pretty well with Stoneforge Mystic, especially in this deck where you have so many tutor targets for Stoneforge Mystic. And one kind of cool trick you can do if you don't have the Kaldra in the hand already, but you have a Stoneforge in play, is you can activate Stoneforge Mystic and then Ephemerate it, and then tutor up a Kaldra and then let its activated ability resolve, putting a Kaldra or Batterskull into play. Which is a nice little trick with Ephemerate. We're also playing 1 Touch the Spirit Realm, was kind of like the 5th Ephemerate / extra removal spell. I guess I should probably go over this too. The general idea, the general package behind this shell is that Fervent Champion is really good with swords. Sword of Fire and Ice is much better than any other sword that exists in Modern. It's much better than any other one. You're pretty happy to naturally draw it. They're good in multiples. I think you just want to play all Sword of Fire and Ices, but it's just really good to slap a Sword of Fire Ice on a hasty creature that equips the sword to itself for 0 mana. And then you can tutor up your swords with Stoneforge Mystics, and you can tutor up your Fervent Champions with Ranger Captain, and Ranger Captain also gives you good interaction against Cascade decks. Is the general package, the general idea of the deck. I did some playtesting last night. I ended up going 3-1, although I punted the last match I played against Death and Taxes. But deck was feeling really good. I was liking it a lot. Excited to play some today. Wish 21 months, thank you. I'm not sure yet. Okay, let's keep this. Put back the Ephemerate, maybe? I think I need both Ragavans. Mentor's kind of bad. Obviously, it works well with the Unearths, but like you can't play Bobble in this list if you want to keep Obosh. I don't think I can put back the sword. I think I'll put back the Ephemerate. It's close. Night's Whisper. Yeah, Night's Whisper also turns off your Obosh. I mean, Obosh is also really good, you know. I kind of want to play 2 pushes. I'll work on the deck off stream. Just kind of wanted to talk about it. You slam Fury in the Marty list. I don't think you want to play the pitch elementals, but you could maybe. You think Blood Moon is a better place than meta now that Yorion has gone? Yes. So like one thing, Blood Moon was already like pretty good because of the prevalence of Leyline Binding and creativity being like, you know, kind of the new shift or whatever. Hopefully they have a Malika Rebirth and the Grief goes tapped here. Feign Death. Oh, this is tapped too. Okay. And then also like the Omnath decks now are gonna have a much harder time. They're gonna have a much harder time playing around Blood Moon because they lose. It's hard to fit Abundant Growth in this shell. You can still play Abundant Growth, but a lot of the initial new 4-color Omnath lists look softer to Blood Moon than the older versions were. Can play more Giver of Runes too here. Alright, so go. Oh, I just realized your username is Blood Moon Go. Let's go Micromancer deck every day until you play it. Might happen. Got a lot of irons in the fire at the moment. So we had to shake up, you know. Is this the end of 4-color finally? No, 4-color is still a good deck. Still a good deck. Sword of Fire Ice. Ooh. It's a tough call. I feel like I think hitting them with the Ragavan is really good here. I'm gonna try to do that. Try to find something to play. Have a lot of life hits, right? Why not? How many cards do you think will die for Omnath Rinsins? Your guess is as good as mine. Alright, Giver. Nice draw. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I would have probably preferred one of those two things being banned, but eesh. Take a draw of that step, I guess. So we're taking 6-10. If we draw a land, we still can't even survive because of the menace. I guess we get chump block. I'm just gonna concede. Let's bring in these Forge-Tenders, 2 Rest in Peace. I did win this matchup last night when I was playtesting it. I'm not sure if you went 2 or 3. I think it Panda. I'm not sure if you went 2 or 3. Rip. I played 2 last night. As for Shadow, of course, of course. I don't know that I'd be playing Inquisition, although Inquisition got, better with the... I think discard spells in general got better. I don't know if I'd be playing it here. I might just be on... just might be on Spell Pierce instead. Also, this list is, like, just Drown in the Lock away from getting Obosh as a companion. Drown in the Lock is really good, though. If you're gonna play Consider, you have to play more Murktides, too. Like... Consider is a card that, like, you really don't want to be playing in this deck, but, like, you have to enable Murktide, and I don't like seeing it here. I don't like seeing it here if you're only going to play 2 copies of Murktide. You either play no Consider, no Murktide, or you play, like, minimum 3 Murktide, probably 4. I think we lead on Giver of Runes here. We have with Plains Mountain and 2 white spells, we need to lead on a white creature here, and also protecting the Ragavan is nice. Maybe Fortuner's better if I'm trying to play around like Fury plus Malik Rebirth, but I at least have Solitude for that. This is 1 protected Ragavan, huh? Yeah, I'm not saying you should necessarily cut Drown to get Obosh in the deck, but it would be pretty cool. Obosh plus Murktide sounds so fun. You can go -2 Drowns, +2 Murktides, +2 Spell Pierce, something like that. No, plus 1 Spell Pierce. You have like 1 more spot. I think I Solitude this. Furious Lizard, thank you for the 2 months, appreciate you. Yeah, again, these are all just things to consider. Like, this is, this is a fine build. Ooh, gross. Well, their draw seems to have lined up somewhat well against mine. Maybe I'll hit something that good off Ragavan this time. Think Thought Scour, since you're in both Drown and Murk, you could play Scour instead, yeah. You'll be fine. Might go down to 20 lands also. Always such a hard deck to build. Oh, sorry, I would be playing 4 push 2 ending. I like push a lot more than ending in Shadow deck. It's just like so much more mana efficient. You could also consider playing like 1 Murderous Cut as an answer to Murktide. I think that would be something that likely goes a long way. Yeah, I guess just like a lot of loose thoughts here. Personally, playing Obosh seems tough to run blue, white, black, same deck. Thoughts on that? It's doable in the Shadow deck, but I mean, and if you're counting Obosh as black, it's a 5-drop. It's not. It wouldn't be a problem at all. I do agree with playing Plain Swamp in your Murktide deck. It seems kind of dicey. Yeah, maybe you're just supposed to be off Murktide and be like on Ledger Shredder or something. Squee for the Marty list? Oh, Squee seems perfect. Squeeze seems perfect. So yeah, still needs a few spots, but love it. 7 Night Trace Shredder was not good, bummer. What standing desk do I use? It's just from IKEA, I don't know, some Swedish word. No heat. Without DRC Bobble, heat is not very good. I've played it in the past. And this version is like trying to keep Obosh as a companion. Squeeze seems perfect though. Do I try to high roll a white card here? Let's let their evoke trigger happen first. I think I like trying to find a white card. Okay, cool. Do you feel like there's too much mid-range in Modern for creature-based aggro decks to be successful in the meta? Kind of funny to hear there's too much mid-range in Modern after all the like tweets. Mid-range is dead. Creature-based aggro decks are successful in the meta though to some extent. Like Goblins is certainly like a viable and competitive strategy. Hammer Time is one of the best decks in the format. I think to say that, you know, creature decks are not viable in Modern is just like not true. Yeah, just not true. Alright, we'll just trade here. They have discard. Like, yeah, with Hammer Time being like, you know, tier 1 deck, it's just like, yeah. That's just not the case. Be cool if you could come to the Tron Discord brainstorm with us. It's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, I spend all day talking to people about Magic and decks. I just don't have the energy to go off stream and go to Discord full of strangers to brew about Tron. I think they would have cut their Blood Moons in this matchup. Ooh. They have the removal spell, they're probably casting it, right? I think they're probably casting it already. I think we can give her this turn, and then we can get Ragavan, and then protect the Ragavan with the dash Ragavan with the giver. Is it reasonable to say my pet deck Niv is not Modern viable? Yeah, I think 5 mana threats in Modern got so much worse when they printed Counterspell. I would say it's not something I personally recommend because of Counterspell. Well, we were so behind this game. It just seems like the only viable creature-based aggro decks have some sort of backup combo to win the game that normally couldn't. I guess. Sure. Can I hit a freaking spell off Ragavan this match? Five mana. Okay, we have Forge-Tender for Fury. Although if they go like 3-1, I'll probably just like... Yeah. Yeah, so I could just go pro-red to Ranger-Captain. Okay. Wow, what a game. What a game. Let's just go to game 3. Yeah, Merfolk is a deck that is like surprisingly doing well, although Merfolk is a deck I don't understand. I don't understand how to win with it. I don't understand how to build it. It's an enigma to me. I'm gonna cast a 2 mana 2/2. I have to keep this on 6, but I kept 7. Ah. Well, kept a slow hand on the draw against Ragavan, pretty dead. We should have attacked with the Ragavan first. I draw Fury. Fury would be so sweet. Solitude would be good too, have the Ephemerate, I guess. My own Ragavan. Yeah, let's dash. Maybe hit high roll, hit a removal spell. I think that there's a viable Greasefang deck for Modern. It's just a Pioneer deck. I tried a few different versions that are all like okay and all like missing something, you know. I think I'm playing the Ranger-Captain this turn. They have removal, so going for Solitude plus Ephemerate doesn't seem like the best strat. It's not super mana efficient either. If I go to 3/4 Murktides, could I cut Drown for Stubborn Denial, have access to Obosh? That sounds actually pretty sick. I like it a lot. Be worth trying, yeah. Down to a humble 6 life. 3 cards in opponent's hand, 2 cards in opponent's hand. So hard for them to not have removal here, but I think at this point I'm going Solitude, pitch the Forge-Tender, Ephemerate, they kill the Solitude. Then I Seasoned Pyromancer, refuel. No removal, no removal, what in the world? How is this the timeline? Ferndog, 22 months, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people asking how do you cast Orvar, and to them I respond, why would you want to cast Orvar? Have you read that card? I guess it doubles up your Ephemerates, huh? Have you read that card? Why would you want to cast it? This card's Undying Malice. Let's target the Solitude, I think. Get rid of the Seasoned Pyromancer. The removal spell? Okay. It's fine. So fine, draw 2. Everything's fine. Orvar would be great in Goblins because you can Matron for it. Also, any Eladamri's Call deck should be playing an Orvar, although I don't know how many Eladamri's Call decks there are. Uh-oh. So I go to 2. Block here, go to 2. Then I can play Batterskull, block Fury, gain 4. Although, I still have a Forge-Tender in the deck, right? Yeah, I need them to draw a brick, but Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender seems like the best line. Could block here, go to 1. But I think about playing the Micromancer deck with Oracle anytime soon. I mean, I'm working on building it. I think one thing is you don't need to play the. You don't need to play the. They have the dying effects. What did they draw? You don't need to play the Wizard Cycler because you can play. You could just get 2 spoils. And I think you can also play Grief and Ephemerate, but it's a hard deck to build. It's a really hard deck to build. It's been a great match. Is this the best Ephemerate deck in Modern? Ephemerate's a really good card. Good old Batterskull. They have a lot of good. They have a lot of draws that kill me. Shizo Death Storehouse is not one of those draws. I'm winning the long game, so I'll go after a token. Whoa, baby. Black Cleave Cliffs. Lucky me, lucky me. Guess I should have put the sword on first. Javier! Javier. When does Javier join the stream? I was lucky enough to have his podcast co-host on. Or up against a Giganta deck, we'll keep this. Interesting. Do you only run one over on Goblin Screen Tutor for it? You could, it depends on what your sideboard looks like, but the first one's good, the second one has diminishing returns, the second one, being able to tutor for 2 seems really good though. You can cast Orvar off Treasure Token, but when you board it in, you never cast it, you just hold it in your hand. Brutal Cathar and Wasteland Strangler and Pioneer, okay. I'm a big Wasteland Strangler hater, actually. Doesn't really feel like it kills that much in Modern either, or Pioneer, rather. Light up the stage. But please, my goal for today's stream is to not get derailed with the silly Pioneer brew again. That is the express goal of today's stream. Not in the best shape ever. One nice thing is they can't cast Iteration and Swift Spear and kill my Solitude. So I'll either be able to Ephemerate my Solitude, exile their Swift Spear, or they won't get to cast their Swift Spear, or won't get to cast their Iteration. Yeah, getting Lost in the Sauce is really fun. We just can't do it like literally every single day of the week so far. We got Lost in the Sauce on Monday. We got Lost in the Sauce on Tuesday. We can't. It's really nice when it happens every once in a while. Am I playing any paper events soon? I might play an RC. I think I'm playing an RCQ this weekend. I just played SCG Dallas. I'm gonna play the LCQs in Atlanta. I'm gonna play some Magic in Vegas, probably. What means Lost in the Sauce? Lost in the Sauce is... I'm not sure how to explain it exactly. Just like, you know, going down a brewing rabbit hole that isn't going to lead anywhere. And you kind of know it's like, you know, this plan is bad, but you do it anyways because it's fun. Yeah, I'm not qualified for Atlanta, no. It's very, very difficult to talk about without listing every single bad beat I ever took, but yeah, I'm not qualified. I'm probably not going to play Doom's pure modern event, but if I end up just being like super free that day, I guess. Harmonic Prodigy. Doesn't even work with Swiss Spear, right? It's not a shaman, it's a monk. It's 1/3 though. The Legacy Dice Rolling deck with Comet, Barbarian class, Medding Hex. Pass, I think. Surely they have attacks here. Oh, I have attacks, and don't call me Shirley. Okay, let's get our planes, cut them off blue mana. I mean, I could, I guess, pitch the Fury. I'd rather just cut them off blue. Was finding the third path any good in your Esprit Mails? The card itself was good, I thought, but it's like the rest of the package, the rest of like the build. Oh, they have Lava Dart? The rest of the build is like I think a bit worse than like the Ephemerate version, if that makes sense. Although it may be good in a Smallpox a smallpox version of the deck. That's been something I've been meaning to test. Is we've done the smallpox reanimator shell in the past, and it's pretty interesting. And then Founding the Third Path has like a lot of overlap in that archetype too. So I think that if I ever return to that build, that's the version we'll try. Too bad this has Delirium now. They just have to kill the flyer. Yeah, Double Prowess is pretty good, huh? Trying a weird variant of Blue Moon. If you post a link in the chat, I'll take a look. I'm gonna block. I think they're Shadow Prophecy just being like a card draw spell. There's like kind of nothing but possibilities. They go to 1, right? All right, I don't think 1 is 0. Pretty sure it's not 0. Ooh. I feel like we're way more likely to win by like Ragavan hitting something for us than like Ragavan trying to block and then they only draw lands or like blue spells. Cowards can't block warriors, you know. We get Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt, Light Up the Stage, Expressive Iteration, Channeler. Shadow Prophecy, Mardu Shadow. You just don't want 3-mana draw spells in your Shadow deck. You can play Painful Truths anyways. Have I gotten around to trying Mardu Reanimators? Seem pretty viable before. I always dislike that version. If we find Delirium here, we actually have a kill rate. I always dislike Mardu Reanimator compared to the Esper versions. Oh, right. I can't flashback the dart. Right. This would be a wild game to win. So the Fated Burn spell. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking if I hit Dart off Ragavan, I could flash it back. They can't block. This is pro red. I like them looking at their top cards so they know if they can concede or not. Oh, whoa, they were dead, right? We must be dead if they're not conceding. Fuck. Spikefield Hazarded. What a game. I also like can't even believe they're playing Spikefield Hazard. I would never play the card. I would never play Spikefield Hazard in their deck. That's so funny. I would like never ever play it. Yeah, Aspiring Spikefield Hazard, huh? I guess that's what I get for never ever playing that card. Oh, maybe I'll cut the Kaldra for second Rest in Peace. It's pretty fine. Are we an Obosh deck with no Obosh? No, we have Stoneforge Mystic. We are pretty close to getting Obosh. Although I'm working on this. I'm working on Squeeze seems like a great addition to the Mardu Shadow deck. What if can we play Painful Truths? Painful Truths is probably like a little lost in the sauce. I don't usually. I mean, you can play Iteration in Grixis Shadow. Why can't you play Painful Truths in this Shadow? Stone's Free Wraith over Sign of Blood in an Obosh deck, yeah. In an Obosh deck, yeah. I don't know what other deck that was the conversation in though. Oh, and the blue-black Shadow deck, right. Oh, I really hate having this Sunbaked Canyon. I think we're gonna mulligan this actually. Thought you wanted more Giver. I'm not sure. I feel like we can play maybe 2 Painful Truths. It's like a little lost in the sauce, huh? I don't know. Oh, I'll be working that one off stream. That and like the Smallpox deck, I guess, tonight. Although I also have a D&D one-shot to prepare. No, you would always play Painful Truths over Shadow Prophecy. You just can't like play the Triomes in the Shadow deck ever. Yeah, you can't ever play Shadow Prophecy in that deck. I think I Batterskull first here. Yeah, I am deeming the one shot. Alright, if you're playing in my one shot later, get out. But I'll tell the concept. So okay, so the concept is the players wake up and they're in a dungeon, and this dungeon is the lair of a wizard who is testing it for his nemesis to go through later. So he's kidnapped you, and you are you're like the meat bags. Testing his lair for that he's planning this extravagant lair for his nemesis to run through at a later time, and if you get to the end of the dungeon, you get to be the wizard's minion. That's the one shot concept. Iterate. Oh, they're playing Jeskai Prowess. Yeah, dungeon beta testers. Kind of wish I still the Kaldra, no, that's fine. By the time cast Prophecy, you have 3 basic types. Yeah, that's way worse than Painful Truths. Prophecy would be look at top 3, put 2 in your hand. For Shadow Prophecy, you would just draw 3 cards instead. It's way better than look at top 3, put 2 into your hand. No, yeah, we cut the Sentinels for Ephemerate. It's not that, the Sentinels are bad, of course. Orvar in the side for creativity matchup. We ended up adding Giver. We ended up going down the Touch the Spirit Realm and the 4th Fury for 2 Givers. But you could also you could play Sentinel over the Givers too. I don't. Maybe I didn't update the Stream Decker. Hold on. Okay, the X on Islet, but they've already played their land this turn. Red card would be so nice here. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You ever put a Sword of Fire and Ice on a Fury? Night Sister seems a lot more playable. Well, again, this is an Obosh deck, so you'd rather play Painful Truce to keep Obosh. But yeah, I think it's like somewhat playable, like the 2 copies at least. It's probably kind of mid. Maybe it's better than it looks though. Oh, we also cut in the Boros deck. Okay, we won. We cut the 4th Blood Moon in the side for the 3rd Orvar. Alright, game 3 against Jeskai Prowess. Yeah, again, you should not play Shadow Prophecy in a Shadow deck. Shadow Prophecy requires you to play Triomes, and you just can't play Triomes in your Death Shadow deck, I think. I think it's just way too bad. We worked on any of those with Counterbalance. I won a PTQ with a Counterbalance in Modern once, but but since they banned Mystic Sanctuary, it's like just not really viable. Iron Pipan, thank you for the 18 months. Appreciate you. Is Shadow Prophecy for 3 worse than Painful Truths? It's so much worse. How is this a conversation? Look at the top 3. Put 2 of them into your hand is so much worse than draw 3. It's so much worse than draw 3. How is this still a conversation? Are trying to game? I'm in the game, but they're sideboarding right now. How have we had this conversation this many times? Instant versus sorcery. It doesn't matter. It's still way better. Ranger-Captain for Fortune probably is good enough for me to keep this hand. Spike, would Faithless Looting be bad at Modern, actually? No. Faithless Looting would be the best card. It's even like hard to argue, I think, that Looting would not be immediately the best card. Just gotta light up the stage. Harmonic Prodigy, Lava Dart. Yeah, not only would looting be good or not bad, it would be like it would be the best card in Modern if it was unbanned. What's my reasoning for the best? Not skeptical, just curious. Well, as someone who's played a lot with and against looting in the past, is mostly where I'm basing this decision from. But Faithless Looting, one like this is a format with persist, and all of a sudden like Reanimator goes from a kind of fringe to like an incredibly scary and viable deck with looting. Dredge. Dredge is a completely different animal with the deck. Hollow One becomes like really powerful and viable deck again. Phoenix becomes a really powerful, viable deck again. It's all of a sudden the best card in like 5 or 6 decks. You know what I mean? It's just it's Faithless Looting. It's Faithless Looting. It's corn. Yeah, you have Blazing Root Wallet now too. Yeah, you get to go turn 1. It's just so gross. Careful Study printed to moderns. Yeah, Careful Study is also like, we have this conversation way too often, and we don't need to have this conversation every day for the rest of my life. But my general thought is that there's a big design space between Faithless Looting and Careful Study. These two effects are too good for Modern. There's a lot of space between this and cards like Haggle and Fate and Salvaging, like the current effects that you have. I think that there is enough design space between these cards that we can have some kind of new looting effect without it being as busted as Faithless Looting was. Okay, I think I blocked this. And also the reason why you want Faithless Looting in the format again, why everybody wants it is... Okay, so this is triggering twice. I guess I sack this now. It doesn't really matter. The reason you want it back in the format is because it's broken. Is because it is too good, With this would not be an example of a deck that would play Faithless Looting, though. Orvar is good against Archon of Cruelty, Nick. What do you think about vintage style format for Modern? I think it's kind of like a question that people ask when they're bored, mostly. What if cards were restricted? I don't think it sounds particularly interesting to me, and obviously this is a crazy draw. It doesn't sound particularly interesting to me. Okay, so let's do 3, 4, 1. Because they have the Lava Dart. But then if they flash it back, flash back the dart, this gets a prowess counter, then I just do 1 damage, 3 damage. Is Orvar good enough to bring in versus Scam for Grief? No, because they just don't take the Orvar with the Grief is the problem. Okay, I want to do this now before they can surveil another Lava Dart into the graveyard. So for this is not dying. This is not dying, but it doesn't matter. This is just a split no matter what. So the most mana efficient play here is definitely Sword of Fire and Ice, but I can play an equipped sword next turn if I want to anyways, and it seems really hard to lose if I play Forge-Tender. Maybe it would have been better to take up both Prowess creatures. No, the Flyer is a really big problem for me. The Forge-Tender answers the Soulscar Mage. What about people who say Modern would be better if my pet deck? Sorry, their pet deck was best Modern. That is true, yeah. If your pet deck was better, Modern would be better. That's true. How hopeful am I about the changes coming to Moto? The fact that you'll be able to buy Pioneer Chocolate platform is encouraging. I think that I can't imagine it'll be a negative impact. If anything, I'm worried it'll be like a really small change overall. But I imagine that I think that Wizards is starting to recognize that Magic Online is worth investing in, I guess. I don't think the server changes plus the or I guess the biggest thing is that like it can, so apparently they're changing Magic Online server, and the big thing is that in theory Commander is going to be like playable on Magic Online, because like right now it's playable, but the lag is so bad. I've done it a few times. The lag is just miserable. All right, this is just lethal, right? Yeah, Xaxes actually. And so like maybe that brings new players to Magic Online wanting to play Commander. Wooden Puddle, 19 months, 2-0 in this league, feeling good. Whatever that setting is, where if you have no ability to play anything, you just auto pass priority. What is my favorite sword for the flavor rather than the effect? Well, I guess I don't know what the flavor of the swords are, right? Aren't they just swords that are like colored? And this one's probably the aesthetically. This is the Todoroki the sword. They put his soul in the steel. That's the flavor. Oh yeah, sort of D&D. Will I play Obosh Marty Shut on stream? If it's good enough. I've played it on the stream in the past. We 5-0'd with it in the past. Squeeze seems like a great upgrade to the deck, actually, the more I'm thinking about it. A basic of planes, baby. So it gets hammer. Grab a Kaldra. They grab a hammer. Uh-oh. Need like a Solitude. I can't even Ranger-Captain to stop them from casting the hammer. Okay, I think I just hold up mana to bluff interaction here. Yeah, I saw last 5-0. You want to call it White Weenie, though. It goes way too wide to be considered White Weenie. Can I explain the decision on Squee versus Spyro versus Fable on this list? This deck plays Ephemerate, so like, so Seasoned Pyromancer seems like the best option by a lot. I think in this deck, at least it's not that complicated. Okay, Giant Killer, Wear Tear. I'll sometimes keep it the Batterskull. That can be okay for racing. I think I want 2 Blood Moons, not 3. Feast and Famine comes in against Omnath, Yawgmoth, Blue-White Control, Titans. I'll bring it against like most combo decks too. This looks fine. That's just usually fine. We're a Solitude Ephemerate deck. Not one I mind really, although I think we mulligan this one lander. Do you like to have Javier plus swords? Or Boros for creativity. For Archon of Cruelty, discard it to the trigger. Okay. Second champ. I think I'm supposed to get another sword here, probably. I could get a Kaldra. I think I go for this double sword. I can maybe get one on each Javier. I try to play against Second League Solstice deck immediately with 3-2'd. Yeah, I feel like or 2-3'd. I don't think I like the deck that much, but it was fun. It was definitely fun. Okay, interesting draw. I think I'm pretty cool with the hammer no matter what. But I think I want to get the card advantage going. If they have a hammer, I'm, you know, pretty toast. Cool. Johnson, 29 months. Thank you. Ooh, Giant Killer's great. Playing around Tide, they can also like draw Ragavan, right? Ooh. Yeah, I guess I cannot tap out here. Hot take, I don't think Blood Moon is that good versus the 4/4 color decks. I think that was like way more true before. Ooh, gross. I think that was a lot more true before they banned Yorion. The Blood Moon's way better against the Ameth decks now. Okay, I think we'll just pass again, hold up the Giant Killer for the Ink Moth. I feel like if we play, especially like being able to put Sword of Fire Ice on the Kaldra, we can play this a little bit slower. Hopefully they just draw Hammer and go for it. Lion Sash. They boarded in Lion Sash? Okay, Wear Tear lets me equip. Could double equip Force the Chump block, but they're gonna block anyways, maybe. Or, you know, I don't know. We get to kill it with the Fire Ice. Shouldn't really matter. Can Heal It have a comeback? I saw Dingo playing it on his stream recently. Didn't look like literally the worst thing I'd ever seen. Ain't looked that good either. Alright, Solitude should probably lock this up. I don't have a strong opinion on the green-red sword, but I would love for the blue-black sword to bounce a permanent and make your opponent discard a card. The I can never remember the name of that effect, but that is a card, 3 mana, bounce a permanent, opponent discards a card, and then it's on your Nova Horror, the same effect. I'm sure someone in chat will say what it is. Recoil, yeah. It's really cool because if they have no cards in hand, it just like they have to discard the card they bounce. If I would be offered a job at Wizards, I would walk into the office, I would design the blue-black sword, and then I would quit. Come back to streaming. Sword of Re and Coil. I think on the draw against Hammer, you can keep this. You have the Solitude. I would design Glimpse, but mill 20 instead. Magnifique! Give this man a raise. Sort of drown and lock. You're onto something, I think. RNT, thank you for the 8 months, appreciate ya. Love to draw Ephemerate. Sort of Pain and Reduction. Kind of edgy. But you're on the right track, maybe. Sort of Tides and Sorrow. That's pretty good. Well, maybe you guys should work for Wizards, huh? I'm probably going to take a hit from the Kaldra unless they put the cranial plating on it. Maybe I do have to Solitude at that point. But I want to get the Sword of Fire Ice on my Kaldra. Maybe just trading is fine. Yeah, I think just trading germ for germ is fine. Unless we hold the Solitude, which feels like a big priority. Then I could Ranger-Captain for Fervent Champion this turn, probably. I can also get a Giant Killer, maybe. That's maybe not as good with the Kaldra being out there. Maybe they have like a March or something. They do. Okay, now I think I have to Solitude, not take 10. Yeah, I know the Kaldras are better than mine because of Paladin, but if I trade, I have like the Solitude for the Paladin, you know. Fury this turn seems fine. I think I am supposed to not pitch Javier either. So like, yeah, Pure Soul Paladin is definitely a card that gets me. I just die immediately to it. But if I can fade that for a couple turns. I can even potentially have a defensive Kaldra too to play around it. Yeah, I don't know that this maybe is playing too scared, but I actually feel like I'm just really ahead if I do this. Because then I can put Sword of Fire Ice on like Ranger-Captain next turn. I could just keep the Fervent Champion black to block if they draw their Pure Soul Paladin. Because I don't know how else I lose unless they draw a Pure Soul Paladin. White card. Okay, awesome, perfect. So now I can attack with the champ. Probably not dashing Ragavan. Wouldn't their paladin be too big anyways? No, the first strike exile beats their paladin. Oh, dashing Ragavan was lethal. Okay, so we won't cast the Ragavan out of shame. We should still be fine. Lantern 4 months. Will net with 25. Thank you, thank you. Three-no. Dingo says he's playing an absolute pile. We'll have to keep this. Just playing the mirror. If Dingo's playing my red-green breach deck and he's like, if he's playing the red-green breach list, I play at the SCG and getting type. Well, there's no Giganta, but if he's like cuts Giganta for something, like I'm playing an absolute pile. That would be the funniest shit ever. That would be so funny. Okay. Absolute pile has been called. I mean, I'm gonna bring in the Forge-Tenders against like the Ragavan deck, I guess. Blood Moons are usually pretty good against absolute piles. We'll even like I think we'd probably trim one of these. Yeah, it could also be a moon deck. We'll see. We'll see. We may never know. We may not find out. It's gonna be 8 might, maybe. Thank you to whoever made the Orvar command. Alright, keep. How did I do at the SG 30K? Yeah, I got 24th place, which was good for like a $400 cash, which is, you know, pretty good amount of money. Oh, I guess I should play Flooded Strand first, but I'm gonna get Sacred Foundry here. Fervent Champion does defeat. Okay, they're a Nihilist. Does defeat Ragavan in a heads-up fight. Windswept Heath. I think if I was going to play this deck this weekend, I would have everything except I'd have everything except for like 2 Sword of Fire Ices and 1 Orvar, which would be, you know, maybe the swords would be a pain to get, but be doable probably. Okay, so let's go activate sword. Equip. If my opponent removes in response, then I get to play another Fervent Champ, although... See if they have, like, Artifact Enchantment Destruction. No? What is going on, Dingo? What is happening? Oh, whoops, I meant to play Ragavan. It's okay, I guess. Zaggoth Triumph. Yeah, it's for Stellar Fine Denton. I should be able to get them from people I know, but if I don't, the Twitch chatters do usually have my back. I appreciate the offer. Well, yeah. Is Pyro here just because good? I think the first. I mean, yeah, I was interested. Oh, it's Winota. Okay, I was interested in just like one more 3-drop. I think you like it's in this deck. It can be kind of awkward to draw two copies of Seasoned Pyromancer, but if you just draw one, you don't have that issue. Because it doesn't actually play as well with Ephemerate as you would like, but it plays, good enough. So this is 6 + 4, not lethal. So we'll just kill the non-humans to make Winota worse. Okay, we're 4-0. 4-0. Let's get a prediction going. And keep this. Burrenton Catacombs on a mold of 6. So up against Yawgmoth, a matchup I usually like. We're a Fury Solitude deck. We have Rest in Peace in the sideboard, sort of Feast and Famine in the sideboard. Singer 9 months, thank you. Although Ragavan's, not that good. Although Fury is just the sickest. No Fury. I think I should get Kaldra this turn. I can use sort of or Ephemerate to get sort of Fire Ice if I need it. Although yeah, I'm gonna need to draw Fury or Solitude. Need to draw them quick. 2 cards in the opponent's hand. Dryad Arbor. Kills Ragavan. 3 cards in hand. Really hoping no Undying Creature. Floats a green. There's an Undying Creature. But at least our opponent had to sacrifice their mana dorks and not the Undying Creature to kill the Stoneforge. That's an interesting draw as well, although I mean here we just Blood Moon. And we're gonna have to draw into Fury or Solitude before our opponent draws out of this. Second basic force in hand is a Disaster Nightmare. And then Eldritch Evolution for Messenger just ends the game. Alright, done a game. Bringing in the Rips, the Feast and Famine. I think I got 3 Ragavans and a Blood Moon. How much worse are Armnath piles with... I mean, we played just 1 Blood Moon, 2 Ragavans. How much worse are Armnath piles without Yorion? Not much worse is kind of my inclination, although they become a lot harder to build. And so you're going to see like 4 main variants. You're going to see, I think, just generic good stuff with Ragavan, Counterspell. So the base is 4 Ren, 4 Iteration, 3 or 4 Obnath, 3 or 4 Teferi, 4 Solitude. That's the base. Potentially Fury over Solitude, but that is likely to be the base. And then you're going to see good stuff with like Ragavan, Counterspell. You're going to see Ephemerate focus builds, some with Risen Reef, some with Eternal Witness. You're going to see Delirium builds to traverse the Uvenwald. I think I saw Mason playing that last night. And you're going to see... I guess those are the main variants. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, I like Vivian combo. I know that Andrea is still working on that. And what the best version of those 4 is going to be kind of tricky to hammer out. And you could see something like the Shadow Prophecy version I play too, playing a 5th color. I love to have Solitude Ephemerate against them. Only have to mulligan a 1-lander though. Let's keep this. I'll put back the Giver, I think. Yeah, we were talking about how good Jitte would be with Fervent Champion too. If Thoughtseize is the biggest winner, would Abundant Growth be the biggest loser? Yeah, probably. So yeah, I think those are the main like Omnath variants you're going to see going forward. And I think you're going to see a lot of people trying them. I may try some because my pursuit for the good decks in Modern is never ending, even if it means I have to play decks I don't always enjoy playing, like the Omnath decks. The disrespect. There's a good chance they're going to play another Mana Dork next turn. I think I'm just going to wait, and I may even Solitude Ephemerate end of turn. There's a good chance they go like 2 Mana Dorks here, right? Seems fine. Could be a better spot. Okay, if they're going to concede to it, then that was a good line, huh? As a general rule of thumb, if your opponent just concedes, the line was fine, huh? Any thought of sacrificing the Horizon Land to hit a non-white rip card? If you sack the Horizon Land, you can't Ephemerate this turn, right? You have to do it next turn, which would maybe be fine. Just wait. But my opponent conceded as soon as I did it, so it's probably like fine. Since probably a keep. Really wants to draw Solitude, obviously. Feast and Famine on the Kaldra seems nice. Rest in Peace stops the combo. Just good enough. Let's get Sacred Foundry, I guess. Okay, so probably take the Rest in Peace. Maybe take Kaldra. Could Bring to Light be one of the best Omnath builds? Oh yeah, there's still Bring to Light, although again, I'm not in love with 5-mana threats in Modern still. There's some exceptions, like Teferi Hero's still okay. Bring to Light's like a bit. Like just like having dead draws in your deck is, something that you don't it can be pretty tough with like how efficient the Murktide deck is. So like be just playing Valky, having any dead draws. What do you think about Binding and Aether Mage's Touch Rate in my list? I think it's like definitely better than Prismatic Ending in the sideboard. In the main deck, it's really hard to fit any copies of the main. You can like cut a Mulldrifter for 1, but beyond that, like there's just like no flex spots. I'm coming to more and more the conclusion that right now, if you want to play the Reanimator deck, if you want to play If you want to play a Reanimator variant, you should be playing the Goryo's version instead of the Persist Archon version, where you don't get got by Orvar because you're on Gristlebrand instead of Archon. You get to main deck Leyline Binding and Shadow Prophecy. I think the other deck doesn't want to. Although both versions are like incredibly weak to Blood Moon when you're on the Witch's Cottage, Aether Mage's Touch plan, and Blood Moon is like, popular enough that I don't actually recommend either, but if you want to play one of the two, I think that the Goryo's version has been better lately. The problem with Lion Sash, I think, is that the card is just a little too weak to play. Double Thoughtseize. Is Fiddlebender still #1 toolbox artifact deck Noodleicious? Yes. Another one. So, okay. I have some new tech for the Fiddlebender deck, or like maybe new is not exactly the right word, but I have some tech. And that tech is Power Conduit. Obviously, we played Power Conduit or Saga decks in the past, but I feel like Power Conduit makes a lot of sense in that shell. Javier would have been such a nice draw. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just passing. Gonna put probably Fire Ice into play unless my opponent. I guess if they leave the Stringer guy spec to block, I put Feast and Famine into play. Tree of Antiquity, legal to drink, and Spike Landia, yeah. Power card one shot. The mono white Fiddlebender Shell, an old brew of mine. A deck that I really like. It is a really low to the ground, artifact based mid-range deck that uses Oswald Fiddlebender to generate value and can also power out the combo of Lightning Greaves Crackdown Construct, and then Power Conduit I think is some nice tech to synergize with your Urza Saga as a Fiddlebender tutor target. Probably not enough new tech. Oh, you should also be playing Halo Fountain probably. You should also be playing Halo Fountain 2 to untap your Fiddlebender, so you can go sack 2, untap Fiddlebender, sack the Fountain into Construct, but maybe need a little bit more tech, huh? Potato 12 months? Do you think Sarah Paragon's still worth it? No, I always thought Paragon was too high on the curve. At the very least, like, that was in like the Yorion version of the deck, which is somewhere else and doesn't really matter anymore. Although we could take a look at it one more time for old time's sake. If I find it, I don't know where it is. Yeah, Boros, Yorion, Fiddlebender. Yeah, this is the Yorion version of the deck. Could have played the Sarah card, but I don't know. Maybe being lower to the ground is better the whole time anyways. Rest. Well, keep it around for now. Do you have a sample list of Micromancer? Not like anything that's super cohesive. I have like some elements together. That's about it. Okay, so I think I'm playing the other Stoneforge Mystic with this mana because if they do have like Beseiju for my sword, I would rather make sure I have a non-summoning stick creature. I think I just want another sword too. I don't think I want the Batterskull that much. Question for the Goryo's list: what's to make Jins worth playing? So the idea behind the Goryo's list is that you're going to Goryo's Vengeance or Gristlebrand, draw until you find an Ephemerate, and then draw until you find an Ephemerate, and then Ephemerate your Gristlebrand to keep it around. And then Jin-Gitaxias kind of does the same thing, where Jin-Gitaxias can let you draw 7, and then if you find an Ephemerate, you Ephemerate your Jin, keep it around. Okay. Three cards in their hand. 2 of them are spells. I think Pioneer has a healthy enough mana base to play 3-color mana bases. Like, you can play them, but it's just, like, worse than the 2-color decks. You get so many utility lands in the 2-color decks, too. Evolution for Yawgmoth. Sack both of my only 2 mana. Okay, well. Okay, dead Stoneforge Mystic. Crazy game. I got Thoughtseize my rest in peace. Crazy game. They're at 8 life. Do I cast Ragavan? Yeah. So I'm assuming sack. I guess I can just leave it to block the Ragavan. What's the green? Sack, kill Ragavan, 3 cards in hand. I have lots of good draws. Fervent Champion, Ranger-Captain, Ragavan, Solitude Fury, Inspiring Vantage. Okay. They can't Court of Calling even if they play a green land, so I don't think I need to play around anything. So respond to the +1. Javier! Let's go. Javier to the rescue. They just deal damage to them here. The lower the life total, the harder it is for them to combo, obviously. Into Stoneforge is huge. Huge. Other Fire Ace, just put it on the Stoneforge next turn, seems okay. Let's go, baby. 5-0. 5-0. I was 3-0 last night and punted my fourth match too against Death and Taxes. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting game. Ooh, nice Seasoned Pyromancer art. I guess while we're here, could upgrade the Seasoned Pyromancer art, huh? Let's run it back. Let's run it back too.